The following production is part of the Play Some Video Games podcast network.
But Kev will figure it out. He's a smart guy.
He is a smart guy.
Producer Kev. PK. The penalty kick. All right.
Oh, man.
I get my cough. I get the intro. We get the show. I play Madden. Okay, here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello, family. This is Coach Mo. I'm here with my best friend, my dude, Mr. Devin. Dev, how are you, sir?
I am doing well. It's Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
It's not super late, which means you're not like dead to the world tired, which is great.
Yes, it does help. It does help so much. My dude, so we are PSVG OT, and we missed last week. And here's what I'm going to tell you. OTites, fans of the OT, people from the PSVG network. I haven't been in Discord a lot, and I'll explain that when we get into our stuff later. But me and Dev, we are the yin and yang, and together all is good. We said it last time we were together. We are Shaq and Kobe before the breakup. Mm-hmm. And so when you and I can't be together, I'm not doing it. Like I'm not messing around. Like, and I know that sucks. I know Donnie hears that and like he gets that like cringe because he's like, inconsistency, it will be bad, and he's probably right. We're probably making like the make us better page. We're probably making it worse.
I don't know. I think you know what. I think we're still making it better by making sure that it's us instead of us taking an off week and it not being the OT. Because when one of us isn't here, it's like the O or the T. It's not the OT.
Yeah, no one wants to listen to PSVGT.
Yes, no,
that doesn't sound. I wouldn't listen to that show.
No. And,
I would listen to PSVG board with VG.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm really proud of those two.
Yeah, man, they are doing it.
I feel like out of all the duos that have popped up in the PSVG network, those two have become like, who's a famous duo that's not Shaq and Kobe? That's like not sports related.
They could be Batman and Robin.
They're Batman and Robin. No, they're even better. They're Batman and Alfred. I like Alfred better than like Robin.
You know what? That's a very, very good statement,
right?
Because Batman and Robin break up. They're like 13,000 Robins, but Alfred and Batman, they stick it out.
That's what I'm saying. So on the OT, we are here for two reasons. One, to share stories and to get to know people, and for you guys to get to know us and to kind of bring that fun part to it. We've had some amazing stories. We've had the moment where Kevin salted the earth.
Yeah.
Wow. My favorite one to this date is still hearing Donnie's story. Like,
oh my God.
Right? Like that's one of those moments where I was like, dude, I love this guy. Yeah. Like, I'm a fan. Oh, okay. But today we're actually talking about, some really cool stuff. And it's one of those memories that I recently have had. And it's your first day of school.
Oh.
Right? So I'm going to pose this in a two-parter. We're going to go back and forth, but we're going to share our first day of school that we like really remember being great in school. And then we're going to talk about our first one. We remember being terrified.
That's easy.
Okay? So we're going to roll the dice on two. So I'm going to go with my great story first, so then we'll hear yours. So my first great story, I remember going to school as a junior in high school. I had the girlfriend. I had the varsity football team. Like I had all the things. I had all the goals, aspirations. I had my letter of intent. I knew where I was going to end up for the most part. I've gone through the clearinghouse. But what made this first day of school so good was this was the first time I got to drive my own vehicle that I purchased myself.
Baller.
Right? So I spent that whole Sunday leading up to the Monday before school cleaning this vehicle. Like detailing it. It was a 1976 Jeep Wrangler CJ5. I had a Honda Accord. Why? because Fast and Furious. That's all I have to say. And I didn't have like the good Honda Accord either. I had the Honda Accord that looks like a soap dish. You know what I'm talking about? That 1990 like 3 one.
Yeah.
Not pretty. Not a very good looking car. But this was the first car I purchased myself. And so I saved up my money and I worked hard and I bought this Jeep. And it was a soft top. It was sky blue. And so I put a system in it. I worked on it. I detailed it. I was ready to go. And I remember going to bed that night, not excited about the friends and the people and the teachers and the classes. No. I was excited to pull in with my music blaring. Little Boys to Men for everyone to hear.
Oh no.
There was a song that had just, I don't know if it had just come out, but it was real recent at this moment. I knew I could sing it at the top of my lungs, and it was my go-to. It was the oh my goodness. Meet me at the altar in your white dress. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We ain't getting no younger. We might as well. Who sings that?
That's not a Boyz II Men song. That is.
No. I said it was Boyz II Men, and that was the other one.
Oh, okay.
But I can't remember who sings it.
I can see the group, but I for some reason
is it Casey and JoJo?
No, it's not Casey and JoJo.
Oh my goodness!
It is brothers though, and 2 other dudes. Oh my god, the song is called "Let's Get Married." As Dan just pointed out in the chat. Who sings it, Dan? What's the name of the group?
Good song.
Jagged Edge. That's right.
Jagged Edge. Oh my goodness.
Thank you, sir.
And so I had my music ready to go. I was set up, and it was a crazy day. It was a good day for me. And I had a blast. I pulled in that morning in my Jeep, and I just remember like being in awe of the fact like I had this thing that I purchased myself, like that I did. I was so jacked about it. So Dev, your good day.
All right, so yeah, good day. First day of school. Before we go into that, I'm actually going to bring up something Chaffee said, because Chaffee is a boss and he's terrified of his first day coming up because he's the big boss at school now.
Principal first day is completely different.
Principal, it's crazy, but dude, you a boss. You got nothing to worry about, man. You've been prepared for this. Don't even worry about it. You got this. Ain't gonna be no problems.
Chaff, real quick, we're gonna tangent this. Mm-hmm. So for the people listening to the podcast on Tuesday, really sorry, but I'm gonna get off on it. Chaff, you want to be a great principal. You want to really connect with those kids. You got to go to P class and you got to play some games. All right. So you got to schedule that time to check in with your grades. Like, oh, we guys playing today and playing. I told my wife that. I was like, hey, babe, you got to go do it. She went and they played this Mario tag and she got to be Princess Peach. Kids loved it. They loved her. Working really well. Great principalship. The kids got to see you play. They have to see you as the boss as well. But it's really good to see you play. So I'm just throwing it out there. So Dev, first day of school goodness. Share it out.
First day of school goodness. I would have to say senior year. Mainly because it's the end of it. Like this is the last year. It's going to be the greatest year, and after this, there's no more high school. So I just remember I didn't have a first period because I was a G like that. I had enough credits to where I didn't have a first period, and I had football as my 6th period. So I really only had 4 classes. So I was able to sleep in, come to school late, just kind of lounge, didn't have to worry about being there on time. I just get to roll on in and just feeling like the man because I only got 4 classes. I ain't got to worry about being there early. I don't have to worry about missing the bus or being on a packed bus. And it was just great. I just get to roll up. I'm looking fresh because it's the first day of school, so you got to look right. Also on the football team. I'm captain of the football team. It's a senior year. Everything is just going real well. And it was just really exciting time knowing that this is the last first day that I'm going to have of high school. And I'm ready to being a young, dumb kid, you think that, everything is going to be great after high school and not having to worry about it when you realize, looking back, that high school is probably the easiest you'll have it. As crazy as that sounds, just dealing with all the like drama and nonsense of high school. Once you get out into that real world and you realize how much more difficult it really is, you look back at high school a little bit more fondly, realizing that it was easier. And that was just it. I just senior year, first day, rolling in late, feeling like a G because I didn't have no first period and everybody else has been there for an hour or so already. And I'm just strolling in like, hey, what up, y'all? So that was definitely probably my favorite first day of school.
Nice. Now we're gonna talk about the terrified day. The day that fear struck into me was again it was that junior year. However, it was the second semester, and the reason I count it as a first day of school was because I took this test, and this test said I was smart and I could do the community college classes in college for credit. And so I was like, okay, so I'm taking a math and English and a history class. Now I'm wearing what I deem as a good first day of school outfit. I have my Letterman's jacket that says my graduation year, thinking no one's going to have an issue with this. As I walk into the room of my first class, a young lady points out the fact that I'm only a junior and is like, why are you here? And I was like, oh, I took a test and I'm in this class. She then gets this like very like, you know what I'm talking, the nose thing. Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like the scrunched nose, like
yeah.
Why are there high schoolers in my college class? I'm like, sweetie, it's a community college. Like, let's calm down. Let's not get all into this. And it was really awkward, but it made it worse that when the professor came in, he also made a comment.
Oh man.
And I remember sitting there the rest of that class just feeling like I don't belong in this room. Like maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I shouldn't be here. I ended up getting a B in the class. I want to point that out. I passed. But yeah, one of those that I'll remember that for forever. Like just the nervousness. Like I never went to school before and felt like I wasn't good enough. That was the first time. So luckily, I was able to get through it and it was good to go. What about your bad day, dude?
My worst first day. I'm trying to decide if it was the first day of junior high, the first day of high school, or there was a period it was the second semester, but it was in 6th grade, and we had just moved from LA to Cleveland due to some family shenanigans. Like just to be transparent, I mean, who cares? My dad was on drugs or whatnot, and we ended up losing our house. And we had to fly back home to the only place that we had to go. It was my mom's grandfather's house, who's since passed. So we went out there, and I feel like that may be the one that takes the cake, just because I was in a whole new environment. I didn't know anybody. This is the second semester of 6th grade, so everybody's already into a groove, and I'm coming in dealing with the trauma of what happened back in Cali, and I'm this Cali kid out of place in the Midwest, doesn't know anybody, doesn't know the lingo or anything. And at this point, back in California, 6th grade is basically like the senior year of elementary. Well, in Ohio, 6th grade is the first grade in middle school. So I had to go from, luckily.
That is rough. I'm going to stop right now. I am so sorry. That is... I could not imagine how awful that would be.
Yeah, luckily, they had already, in my 6th grade, they had already made it to where we actually had different periods. So I was used to going to not just the same class and staying in it the whole time like you had done, 1st through 5th grade. We actually, all the 6th graders, because they knew we were transitioning into junior high. It happened to be the first year that they did this, which was also weird. You actually had a period with each one of the 6th grade teachers. So I was already used to the whole idea of you're not only in one class, you end up going to multiple. But just the trying to find my way in this whole new environment where people made fun of me because I had a California accent, which was just the weirdest thing to me because I feel like I don't have an accent at all. Like I feel like California is like the absence of an accent. But they made fun of the way I talked. They made fun of the way I dressed, just all of that. But, in the end, it ended up being a really good time. I made a lot of good friends there. I ended up having a really, really good school year. And it was just a really good time. It was really terrifying and just crazy going from just one place to another that was so different. But it ended up being really great. And I look back on that as like really, really fun time because I made some really good friends, and being good at basketball at the time really helped out because that was kind of like that gateway. Like, oh, he can ball. Let's talk to him and let's actually be friends, man. It's funny how just sports is, if you're good at sports, it's like a gateway into like everything. So once they saw that I could actually play ball, it just kind of opened the floodgates to everything else. So it was really nice.
No, Whew, again, I just that's rough. So I when I moved schools in 7th grade, we moved in the middle of the year, and so the school we were at, we had to be there by 6:30 because school started at 7, and then when we moved to, school didn't start till 8. So we moved from Illinois to Portland, and so like when we moved, it was kind of the cool thing to have the big red Blackhawks hoodie. Like it was just kind of what we did in Chicago. Like most of us weren't hockey fans, but if you didn't have the Bulls puff jacket, like you had the red hockey hoodie. And so I wear the red hockey hoodie, and I'm sitting down because I'm there an hour early. So the teacher, like, they take me to my class and say, your other kids will be here soon. So I'm the first one there for like 30 minutes, just hanging out with this lady I've never met before. And so I'm sitting down, I'm kind of slouched back, and these two dudes come in, they start making fun of my hoodie. And like, they're just trying to, oh, were you in a gang in Illinois? I'm like, no, I'm a 7th grader. Leave me alone. And so like then class, like, when we got up to go to the next period, like after this hour and a half of these guys being punks, and I stood up, they never said another word to me. It was great. And again, you were like saying sports was your common denominator. I got really lucky because had I been like small, I guarantee you those guys would have been bullies the rest of the year. But I got really lucky. Like, but no, I couldn't imagine going from being like 6th grade where you're finally going to be the top dog.
Right.
And then going back to be like that's rough.
The low man on the totem pole.
Yeah.
That was just it was so weird, man. It was so weird. But shout out to the starter puff jackets though. Word, taking it back.
That's where it was, man. Now we have some questions today.
All right.
But I'm just pausing if there's anything that needs to be thrown my way. Curving-ish.
If I'm gonna throw something curving away, I'm gonna do what I want to do it. So.
All right, I was just checking. For the momentary curveball. Like I was keeping my weight back. I was loaded up, ready to go. So our first one, how do you tell somebody you want to see other people? What's the good way to do it, and what's the green way to do it?
The green way?
It's a Florida term that I have found out. But when you say something's green, it means like you did it kind of in like a jerkish way. Like when like the kid, like my student will actually say, dude, coach, that was green. Like when you make fun of somebody.
I'll tell you about kids and their lingo, man.
Yeah, it's something else, right?
Green.
I
mean, I guess the only right way or best way to tell somebody you want to see other people is just to do just that. Don't cheat. Don't do something stupid. Don't beat around the bush. Like if you're just not feeling the relationship, stop wasting your time. Stop wasting the other person's time, and just be real about it. Be upfront. Be like, look, I'm not feeling this. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's you, but this relationship just isn't working for me, and I'd like to see other people. I mean, just be upfront about it. That's the best way to do it. I mean, any other way, you're just wasting your time. You're wasting the other person's time, and you're cheating each other. So just be upfront about it and tell them the truth. I want to see other people. This just isn't working for me.
All right. And then my good advice is make sure when you tell somebody they actually understand they're being broken up with. I think that's a really important key attribute. Don't allow there to be that wiggle room so that somebody thinks you're dating for another 7 months, even though you're not. So just toss that out there.
Make sure you're communicating it properly. Know your audience.
Yeah, know who you're talking to. The green way, and I haven't done this. I have seen it done. I think the worst way you can break up with somebody, like the absolute worst, is to have somebody else do it for you.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen that in action, and it's a train wreck because the other person who's willing to go do the dumping is probably a bad person. Like, I don't know a lot of good people who volunteer to go break somebody else's heart. Like, you know what I mean? No one wakes up and goes, I really want to hurt somebody else, but I don't want to have to take any ownership of it. You know what I mean? Like, who? Yeah. And I think that's probably the greenest, like the worst way to do it.
Oh my God. I remember that kind of stuff in junior high, man. That's so junior high to be like, to have one of their friends come up to you with the note, like, yeah, so-and-so wants to break up with you.
Yeah, and that's exactly how it's said too. Like they don't even have time to read the note. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like someone wants to break up with you. Hang out. And just like,
so not only just you have to like hear it, but now you have to read it.
Just hurting you. That's like adding insult to injury, man. That's the worst.
You're at lunch trying to enjoy your square piece of pizza with the little pepperoni chunks, and then you get the note and the comment.
Yeah,
it's just the worst.
I mean, I feel like worse is when you find out that they're dating somebody else, and then they tell you. Yeah, see? I think that's worse than the friend telling you, because at least before they're already moved on, they at least sent the friend to deliver the message.
See, I've been cheated on a couple times, and both times I was like, you know what? Yeah, we probably should be seeing other people. This makes sense. But like it is still like a fear. You know what I mean? Like nobody wants to be cheated on. Right. But I think like I wasn't mature enough to understand how bad it was. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is hurtful. This is a bad feeling. So no, I think you're right though. I think that is also very bad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got our weird one out. So if you could be an actor in any show, what role would you play, sir?
If I could be an actor in any show.
Ooh, yeah, so what kind of role would you be? Like, what would be your best fit?
Man, that's a tough one, because I'm trying to think, what show would I really want to be in? And then would I want to be like the lead? Would I want to be like the side character? It's like, do I want to be Dawson or do I want to be Pacey? If you watch Dawson's Creek, you know what I'm talking about. Blast from the past. I think if I were to be in any show, I'd probably, just the time and where I'm at right now, I'd want to be like in a superhero show. I'd want to be like in the Netflix MCU, and I'd probably want to be one of the like vigilante characters, not someone who is like struggling. Do I want to be good or bad? No, just somebody like the Punisher who's out doing his own thing. Like I'm here for me, and I'm just gonna wreck shop and do what I got to do to take care of what I got to take care of. So I would definitely want to be like I'm trying to think of a vigilante character like that. Like I wouldn't mind being like Nightwing, because he's kind of dope. Like he's just like, you know what? Screw you, Batman. I'm still gonna do this justice thing, but I'm tired of your strict rule set and your nonsense. So I wouldn't mind being Nightwing. That would be kind of fresh.
See, I'm torn on mine, because like my heart says I would love to be a JD in like the Scrubs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just goofy, dumb. Like that sounds like my wheelhouse.
Right.
But on the other end, like one of my really good friends, Matt, when he first applied to film school, he had me be one of his references. And I said, I will only do this if you write me my bad guy part. And he goes, what do you mean? I'm like, I want to someday be the world's greatest bad guy. And he was like, what do you mean? I'm like, think about it. I want to be Darth Vader with and I mixed all these bad guys together. I'm like, I want to be this. He's like, why? I was like, how cool would it be to be the bad guy?
Right.
Like, and not one of the ones who was like turn bad over time. Like, no, just the crazy Joker bad guy who's just bad.
Right.
Like, I just think that'd be fun to try to act out. And so I want to say I should be a bad guy in a show, but I think in all honesty, if I really was gonna have to do it every day, I would be a JD character all day, like just goofing off and being dumb. So
I mean, if you're gonna be JD, I gotta be your Turk.
There you go. See, again, these are very true statements. So all right,
it's gotta be
food for thought. Oh, seriously, what food do you think of this? When I read this, I chuckled because I was like, "This is so dumb. You were an idiot." And so I've been trying really hard, like, not to name my kids off, but I'm gonna tell him right now. Okay, Zach, you're a dummy. I love you to death, kid. But who writes a question this way? Like, I read this and I was like, oh my goodness, what are you doing to me? Shout out to Miss T. Really appreciate you still taking the questions from my first period class. It means the world to me.
Oh,
but awesome. Seriously, what food do you think of? If I'm being completely honest, I have not had a hamburger in like 4 years. I don't eat red meat. Sometimes I catch myself thinking of hamburgers. Not very often, but sometimes. So, how about you, Ed?
Pineapple pizza.
Oh, pineapple pizza.
Just to make some people mad. Kevin, pineapple belongs on pizza. It's delicious.
I don't understand why you wouldn't want pineapple on pizza.
I don't get it either. I don't know what's wrong with him to where he won't just enjoy the pineapple, the Canadian bacon, or ham on the pizza. It's amazing. It's delicious.
Oh, dude, I actually have a better one. My wife does this one. Pineapple, extra sauce, green pepper, onion. It is a banging slice.
See, now I got to try that.
It's really good. It's tasty. I'll tell. I literally, like, the first time I had it, I was like, this does not look so too tempting, because it's a mix of these different things. But it's really good. It's
okay.
Really good.
So Dan said you're definitely having a burger chat during your Madden session tonight.
I'm totally fine with that.
Why did you stop eating red meat? Why are you no longer eating red meat?
So I don't talk about this a lot. But I played high school football. I played D1 football, and then I ended up playing a little bit of semi-pro football for a couple of years. And over this time, when you're playing football at that level, and my playing weight was 395 pounds, I'm like 390 pounds. So I had to put on weight constantly. I was burning calories and having that weight. The cheapest meat to buy is beef. I was eating so much beef and working out just because of like the money I had, that eventually if you eat too much red meat, you can get something called gout.
Ah, yes, the gout.
I experienced it once. Now, I've been hit by a car. I've broken multiple bones in my body. I've been stabbed once. I've been beaten up in a UFC fight. I've gone through a plethora of horrible things. I would do
of those we've talked about on the show.
I would do all of those on the same day for a week instead of having one gout attack.
Jeez.
Like 100% serious. It's horrible.
Man, that's funny. There's two dudes in my job that have gotten gout since I've been there in the last like 2 years. One of them was a Marine, and the other one just worked there. And the way that they talk about it seems like it is really uncomfortable. And to hear you say that you'd rather get hit by a car, stabbed, and beat up in a UFC fight all at the same time, which sounds just like an evening with Conor McGregor, instead of getting gout.
Yeah. So what happens is, now some people are affected differently. Some people it's sugar. Some people it's red meat. Like some people it can be just different substances cause the uric acid buildup. What happens is the uric acid builds up to the point where it creates these little needles. Those little needles tear and puncture the skin so much in that joint that eventually swelling occurs. And so that's when that swells. That's when the little shards get bigger and thicker, and that's where the pain comes from.
Jeez.
And so it is literally one of the most awful things. And so in my lifetime, the first one, when I had it, I didn't know what caused it. I just thought it hurt my foot. Like I thought I broke a toe. The second time it happened, it was like two years later. Again, I was like, wow, I must have dropped something on my foot or done something. The third time I went to the doctor, and that was about 4 years ago, something like that. I was like, went to the doc. Doc told me, I was like, hey, you have this thing called uric acid building up. He explained it to me. And he was like, what have you been eating? And I showed him I told him what I've been eating. He was, try not eating beef. Didn't eat beef. Didn't have to worry about it.
Wow.
So anytime, like I had, what was it? When we first moved to Texas, somebody, Lace was like, hey, you have to try this brisket. Took one little bite. It popped up the next day. And that was the last one. That was the last one. So I just red meat. I got to stay away from it because whenever I have it, it builds up that uric acid quick. Boom, boom, boom. Shards in the foot. It's awful. I miss the hamburger. I do. Now there are drugs and things you can do, but because I've had so many surgeries and used drugs to kind of maintain myself for a long time, not to the point where I was addicted, but that was just something I had to do for the lifestyle.
Right.
Once I stopped playing football, I was done. I try. I don't even like taking Advil.
Right, makes sense.
So, someday I may look into it more and try it, but for now, burger free for a while. It's been
dang, that's crazy. I can't even imagine just taking just a bite of brisket and having it the next day. That's insane.
It's rough. It's rough, and it's not like the next day, but it's like a week later or 3 days later, whatever it is. However long it takes for it to build that uric acid up, but it's rough, man. All right. So this is when I got this question, I died. This is good stuff right here. Pick a kickball team from the PSVG crew, and then who do you think wins? So I was like, you know what? Kickball might be too tough because then we have to fill out the whole squad. So we're going to go right now. We're playing 3-on-3 hoops. Okay. You get the first pick only because I'm so tall on a half court. I'm guaranteed 3 points. I'm going to catch it and get a layup.
I mean, this is true.
So I was like, you know what? I'll take the second pick. So you got number one pick.
I was going to pick you first because they didn't say we had to go against each other.
I think that's what's implied here because we're both picking. So it's basically PE style, yeah.
Okay, who is tall that can kind of like possibly, maybe like slow you down? I have to either go with either Kyle or Seth because I think both of them are kind of tall. I know Seth actually likes basketball, so I'll probably pick Seth just so I can possibly stand a chance against your ginormous self.
Okay. Well, my first pick is Lobo Rican himself, and here's my reason why. Lobo is a fiery dude. I guarantee you Lobo can play defense. I guarantee it. I would put money down. If we're in this game, Lobo is guarding whoever he's guarding, and they're going nowhere. So that's mine.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Lobo is going to be like the Dennis Rodman because he's also going to get in your head because he's going to be talking, he's going to be fired up. He's going to be playing like that hard-nosed D to just frustrate the mess out of you. Yeah, he's causing problems.
All right. So next pick for you. And this is your third person. This is your team.
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna have to go with Donnie. I feel like Donnie's got a little bit of court savvy. He knows basketball well enough, and hopefully he can ice the knees and drain the threes and just work the outside and hit the jumpers. Because I'm going to the rack, and I'm gonna dish it out to him because I'm gonna draw you in and just kick it out, and hopefully he's got enough something to hit that 3-ball for me. So that's gonna be my squad.
Well, I'm really happy that this pick fell to me because I've literally had my team, my three. If I could make a magic team of 3, these are the people they would be. My 3 they were all available. My third pick is Caro herself. And here's the reason. I think Caro, being the sports junkie she is, that she will do the one thing I need my team to do, play defense. Because here's the thing. We might not make every jump shot, but if we get a hand in your face and I get a rebound and we only got to go to half court, I pass it out, they pass it back in, layup.
Yeah.
I like our odds.
While you like your odds, see, I happen to know that Caroline hates all physical activity.
No, not for this. This is competitiveness.
This is why I didn't pick her. She's competitive, yeah. But if you have to make her run, she's like, nah, man, you're tripping. So
it's half court though.
I don't care.
We'll see. All right. We'll have to talk to the squad to see whose team wins because I'm not sure.
I'm setting down screens. I'm setting back picks. We are moving.
All right. And our last student question: what was your biggest accomplishment this summer?
I would say this because this summer has been very challenging for me. My biggest accomplishment this summer is just not letting my family down. Honestly. I don't know. I don't think I told you about. My wife was actually back in Maryland for the last 12 days. She just got back this Tuesday. Her mother, her grandmother on her mother's side, who passed in January, has stomach cancer. So she was back there for 12 days. Just left me with both the kids, and she's had to be in and out of just all kind of stuff, just dealing with a lot of family stuff and just being able to be here and hold it down while she's been away taking care of family stuff and just being able to make sure that the kids are taken care of, that they have everything that they need, and that my wife is also comfortable and good to go and take care of the things that she needs to take care of. I would say that's just been my biggest accomplishment, just being able to be present and be available and be able to be dad wholeheartedly and give everything to the kids and to my wife so while we go through these really difficult times this summer. So that's by far my biggest accomplishment, just being able to hold it down.
So I don't say this very often, but I'm gonna say it right now in front of all of our beautiful, wonderful audience, our family. Dude, I'm so proud to like be your friend. You're just you rock. I am not as mature as you. I've had a lot of things happen this summer. I moved across the country, was not my biggest accomplishment. My wife and I lost our baby. She was pregnant, and a lot of the PSVG team knows that. So that's definitely not a biggest accomplishment. That was a tough thing. We bought a house that we'll be moving into on September 28th.
Yay.
Not my biggest accomplishment. I got a new job and won our first football game, but that's not my biggest accomplishment. My biggest accomplishment, my friend, is the 41-10 whooping that I gave the New York Jets in our Madden season against Dan Anthony. And that's not even the biggest part. The biggest part was the Super Bowl win that we got done in like a week. We played through the whole season. We got into the playoffs, won the Super Bowl. We did the off season. We did the draft. That's my biggest accomplishment, is the fact that tonight, when we get off this podcast, Dan and I will be starting season 2. And I'm telling you, Ed Oliver, Rookie of the Year, 2019-2020 season. It will come to fruition. He is going to be the man, the myth, the legend, Ed Oliver. Thank you, Buffalo Bills, for sucking.
Oh man, Dan is in chat. He's like, bye. He just said, I'm out. Good night, Dan. You ain't right for that one. I'm sorry, Dan. I'm sorry that it had to go down like this.
But here's the
thing.
To
put you on blast on the podcast.
But here's the thing, like when I that did come across very green of me. But I will say, like, the last time me and Dan did this, where we went through season after season after season, is one of the happiest moments I have in gaming. And with all the crap that has happened this summer and all the things that I'm going through, the adjustments, the fact that we were able to do this week really has helped lift up my spirits and like help me be positive and help me be happier, because like this is the thing I look forward to the most, is because I didn't have it until I met Dan and Nate and all those guys. So I've only had this group of people who, they don't all play Madden anymore, but when I first met them, we all played Madden. But that was 4 years ago. For 4 years, I've been blessed with this wonderful group of guys who led to me and Dan. And I'm telling you, our 2017 Madden run, I don't know if any group will ever match what we did. Like, we're talking 10 seasons, 10 drafts, 10 years of craziness. And the fact that he unretired and now we're going back into this. Shout out to the Jets and their new quarterback of the 2019-2020 season. He went and traded for Nick Foles on a 1-year deal, which is perfect for him. But I'm very excited to see how good he makes that team, because consistently our games are pretty close. This just happened.
Except for that one.
Here's the thing. My Bears are in a much better spot as a team than his Jets were. Right? Like that offensive line for the Jets right now, atrocious. I'm sorry. Josh McCown, not a quality quarterback. Like, love him, but my dude Mitch can do stuff his guys can't. He did draft a running back who I'm a little nervous about. I'm not gonna lie.
Dan said he was tanking.
He did end up with a pretty high pick. But this is one of those things I'll remember forever. So folks, if you are a Madden fan, if you are looking for a league, I have no problem putting a third one together. I'm currently doing one on the PS4, one on the PC. Those ones we only have to play once a week. And then Dan and my league, that's ours. We're gonna go too fast. I'm not gonna ask anybody else to jump in that one. You've got to be in another level of Madden love. Like, I literally have an Excel sheet where I track things for that Madden league.
Wow.
Because I want to know, like, what do I have to do this? Like, I literally saved. I was so ready to pay out a $20 million bonus for Aaron Donald to hit free agency. And I saved my money. And I didn't sign people. And he wasn't a free agent. The Rams re-signed him.
Wow.
So what I do? I traded people. I got picks together and I sent them a package offer, and Aaron Donald was traded before the draft. It was beautiful.
That is crazy. Y'all, I can't believe y'all got through a whole season in a week.
We whole season down. And we're literally like we did the draft today. We're now on season 2 and the preseason starting. We're gonna go through and we're gonna get the preseason knocked out tonight. I have a feeling if everything goes the way I think it will, I will go to bed at 1:00 tonight and we'll be on week 2 or week 3.
Wow.
So I can feel it.
I have some friends on PS4 that are diehard Madden fans, so I'm gonna try to see. Well, we'll talk offline. I'll see if I can get them into your league because I think that would be a lot of fun for them.
All right. Well, we're coming up to the end of the show, and this is normally where I keep my weight back and I'm ready for anything curving.
Yeah, I got like a little small curveball. It's
right,
just
right.
low. It's just low, isn't it?
Weight's back. Keep your head in. Don't miss.
It's real simple. It's real simple.
Okay.
It's just, what's your favorite season and why?
Okay. This is all predicated on where I'm at. And I know that sounds weird. I've been blessed to be in a lot of places. So I'm going to go through and knock this one out to the best of my ability, being completely honest, but hopefully to give people ideas of places to go. Portland, Oregon, from October till December is one of the most beautiful places on this earth. It will mist almost every day. Like, it's not rain. It's like wannabe rain. And it's this light mist that literally as you walk, like you can feel it hit your face. And it's not cold, but not warm either. Like, you both need a jacket and then don't want your jacket at the same time. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like, it's amazing. It's one of my favorite things I've ever experienced in my life. And I keep telling myself that if I ever become a good enough coach, that's where I'm going to go back to, because I want to be able to walk around in that. Puerto Rico, when you go, if you go in the right time of year, the rainforest is more beautiful than anything I can ever say that I've seen. And I want to say, if I'm saying this correctly, it's like March to the beginning of, it's like March to like June. And it's like not a good tourist season, but there's something about the rain and everything. That's when I got to go, and it was amazing. And last, if you go to Ireland in the winter, it will take your breath away. It's cold, it's wet, but it's beautiful. So those are my 3.
Interesting. I mean, I only have one because it's just one. My favorite season is fall. I just like the way it's simple. It's fall. That's it. Okay. I don't care where you are. I just like fall. It's the colors are changing. It's not 1,000,000 degrees, but it's not, super cold to where you need a thick jacket. It's that nice sweater weather, You get Thanksgiving, you get Halloween. So you got some nice holidays in there. And just like the changing of the hot to the cooler weather, all the different colors, if you happen to live somewhere where you actually can see the colors change, and then you're ramping up for Christmas and winter. So I just love that period of time, that period of change, and just like the excitement you have going into the holiday season. So fall is definitely the one that I always look forward to.
Respect. Okay. All right. Now we get to the back part of our show, and we ask, what is our game of the year? So, Dev, game of the year right now. What are we at?
I mean, it's Destiny 2. Duh. I mean, game of the year. No, I'm kidding. Game of the year for me is still Fallout. Far Cry. Far Cry 4. I mean, that game is just so much fun. It's bananas. There's so much stuff to do. They just announced like the latest DLC, which is like a zombie thing, which looks really cool. Their Mars thing was awesome. Their Vietnam thing was awesome. Just Far Cry has hit it out of the park for me. I haven't played a ton of games this year just because I've been so incredibly busy. But Far Cry 4 just has a very special place in my heart. And every time that I turn it on and play it, it's just fun. It's a really, really great getaway. Take my mind off things, and it's a good change up from Destiny. So it's special. It's fun. I love that game.
Respect. Now, I'm Madden got a 10 for me for its official review for PSVG, which should post shortly. I have a couple more pictures and things to write. I had a little blurb for the unretired section that I'm working on. But so it's a 10. However, it's not my game of the year. My game of the year is still NHL 19. And again, I'm telling people, Game Informer released some of the things I've been allowed to see. And when I say, like, I'm always nervous that this is going to get back and EA is never going to let me come back to, like, do the play testing because I have towed this line so hard. But I'm going to reference this. Game Informer, not me. Game Informer references the amazing things they've added to their franchise mode. One of those being hiring and developing different scouts. And even, this is the one I want to hit on the most. Former players for your franchise, when they retire, will be added to your scouting pool. So let's say a Patrick Kane, one of my favorite players for the Blackhawks. 3 seasons in, he hangs up the skates. He goes into my scouting department. He could become my best scouter in history, or he could become a dud who I eventually have to let go. Adds more intrigue to the story. And I'm telling people, NHL 19 is adding things that are game-changing that other franchises need to pay attention to. Because Madden's doing some really beautiful aesthetic things, but me and Dan, like, we'll be sitting and playing, we'll be talking like, oh, it should do this or this. That this or this edition, NHL 19 is already doing. And I'm telling people, like, I normally play NHL the least of the 4 sports games, so it maybe gets 25, 50 hours a year. I have a feeling it's going to be one of my most played. And it's because of the things they're doing in the franchise mode. It's because of the things they're doing with the EA SHL, which is still one of my favorite modes in games. I'm really jacked to play more of that game.
Awesome.
Yep. So, all right. Now we get to our wrap up. Dev, anything you want to say to the people? Anything you're working on?
I'm not working on a whole lot right now. Just we're finally starting to get into our groove. Kids are back in school. Wife is about to start back teaching. So we're going to get into this nice, consistent flow of things. So I should have more time to actually write, play games, start streaming. So that's what I'm looking forward to getting into. But other than that, right now, you can find me on Twitter at Tyus and just come talk trash because I like doing that. So come find me on Twitter. Other than that, look forward to some stuff from me like in the fall. Once Destiny hits and Spider-Man, we get those games and I'm in my groove, I'll start putting together some more things.
Sweet. For me, I'm still working away on football stuff, not just like Madden, but actual coaching football stuff, breaking down film and doing player grades for my kids. That's taking up most of my time. Anytime I don't have for that, I dedicate it to Madden. And then after that, if there's any free time, I'll be doing some writing and continuing to finish editing my big project. There is one thing I wanted to do. I ended up buying a version of Destiny that you told me about with the statue, the Cade 6 one. I ended up picking up 2.
Oh,
yeah. You see, you wanted the statue, so I send you the statue. That gives me a version of Destiny 2 with all the bells and whistles for us to give away to somebody.
Yeah.
It also gives you and me the ability to knock out some of that stuff together. So I think that's something we could work out.
Absolutely.
So we will have a copy of Destiny 2 with all the expansions, all the cool stuff available to us that we'll be giving away. Now, I still have an SNES that I was supposed to give away sitting up here. It is in the box. We're not real good at being creative for giving things away. So what we need you to do, please hit Dev up on Twitter. Don't hit me up. I haven't been in the Discord. I'm very active on Twitter. Don't hit me up because I probably won't see it. Hit Dev up and let's find a way to give these things away. Let's find a way because we've got 2-3 weeks before Destiny 2 comes out, the new stuff.
I believe it's 3 weeks.
3 weeks. So we've got 3 weeks for you, listener, to come up with something for us to do that's going to make this fun. All right? Sound good? Sounds good to me
great.
too. All right, man. Well, with that, we're signing off. We're saying goodbye, family. We'll talk to you guys hopefully next week. If not, we'll talk to you when life lets us. All right. So for us at PSVGOT, that's game over.
Shut up and sit down.